It was close to midnight. A light rain was falling outside, and the sound of droplets tapping against the window created a strange, heavy silence. Jacob, Elise, and I were sitting in my apartment living room. The lights weren't fully on, just a single table lamp glowing softly, casting the room into a mix of shadow and dim light. Elise suddenly said, "You told us you knew a real story. Are you going to tell us about that girl?" I stayed quiet for a moment, staring out the window. Then I spoke slowly. "You sure you want to hear it?" Jacob smirked. "If we were scared of ghost stories, we wouldn't be here tonight." I let out a quiet sigh. "All right, but listen, this isn't something I made up. It's real. And I've been to that house myself." The room fell completely silent. I began. "This happened about 8 years ago. The place was a small town somewhere in the US. I'm not going to tell you the name, because that house still exists, and a lot of people believe nothing there is truly over. There was this old 2-story house in that town. From the outside, it looked completely normal. White walls, a wooden porch, a small garden out front. But nobody in the neighborhood would go near it. At the time, I didn't know why. A new family moved in. A father, a mother, and their 18-year-old daughter. Her name was Emily Carter." Elise whispered, "Emily?" I nodded. "Yeah, Emily. She was just a normal girl. Quiet, kept to herself. She hadn't made any friends in the new town yet, so she spent most of her time alone in her room. But from the very first day, she felt like something was off in that house. At night, when she walked down the hallway, she would hear footsteps, even though no one was there. Sometimes it felt like someone was watching her. At first, she ignored it. But then, one night, something happened. I paused. Jacob and Elise were both frozen, listening. It was around 10:30 at night. Emily came downstairs to wash her hands. There was a small sink next to the kitchen. Outside, it was raining, just like tonight. She stood in front of the sink and turned on the faucet. But I stopped for a second. No water came out. At first, there was just this harsh, grinding sound, "Jrrr," like something had been stuck in the pipes for a long time. And then, something dark red started to come out. Elise whispered shakily, "Blood." I nodded slowly. "Yeah, thick, dark, red blood." At first, Emily couldn't believe it. She pulled her hand away. But it didn't stop. It started flowing even more. The sink slowly began to fill up. And there was this smell, like rust, like raw meat. She was about to scream. And then she heard it. A low, broken voice, right behind her. "Help me!" The room felt colder. She slowly turned around. No one was there. But when she looked at the mirror, I paused. Jacob leaned forward. "What did she see?" I said quietly. She saw her reflection, but it wasn't her. The girl in the mirror had blood-filled eyes, pale skin, and a deep cut across her throat. And she was staring at Emily, whispering, "They killed me." Elise covered her mouth. Emily screamed and collapsed. Her parents rushed in, but they didn't see anything. The sink had clean water again. They thought it was just a nightmare. But that was only the beginning. Over the next few days, things got worse. Doors would open on their own at night. Cold air would move through the rooms. Sometimes, wet handprints would appear on the walls, red ones. The worst part, Emily kept seeing the same girl. Same face, same cut throat, same whisper. "Find him." Slowly, Emily realized, this spirit didn't just want peace. She wanted justice. So Emily started digging into the history of the house. At the town's old library, she found out that about 20 years earlier, a girl had lived there. Her name was Laura Henderson. She suddenly disappeared one day. The case was closed. Police assumed she had run away. But no one knew what really happened. Emily understood. Laura's spirit was still trapped in that house. And she was looking for her killer. I leaned forward slightly. What happened next was the most terrifying part. One night, Emily stood at the sink again. The faucet turned on by itself. Blood started pouring out again. But this time, she didn't panic. She whispered, "I'll help you. Tell me who did this." Suddenly, inside the blood, an image appeared. A man, middle-aged, tall, with a beard, cold eyes, and in his hand, a knife. He cut Laura's throat. The room was dead silent. Emily recognized the face. It was someone from the town, someone everyone respected. His name was David Miller, a respected man on the outside, but inside, a monster. Emily went to the police, but there was no evidence. Then Laura's spirit began guiding her. One night, Emily stood outside David's house. The air was freezing, and she heard the whisper again. Inside, basement, Emily called the police. They searched the house, and in the basement, they found human bones and an old, rusted knife. David was arrested. During interrogation, he confessed. He had killed Laura because she discovered his secret crimes. And then, I paused. The case was closed. David went to prison. And that night, Emily stood in front of the sink again. The faucet turned on. But this time, it wasn't blood. It was clean water. And in the mirror, she saw Laura. But now, her face was calm. No pain in her eyes. She smiled softly and whispered, "Thank you." And then, she disappeared. I went silent. The room was completely still. Jacob asked quietly, "So, it's over?" I slowly shook my head. "No." They both looked at me. I lowered my voice. "A few months ago, I went back to that house. It's empty now. No one lives there. But, when I walked inside, the kitchen sink turned on by itself, and I heard it clearly. There are more." I looked at them. That means there are more spirits like Laura. And maybe their stories aren't finished yet. A flash of lightning lit up the room. The lights flickered. Elise whispered, "You're lying, right?" I gave a slow smile. "If you want, we can go there tomorrow." No one spoke. Only the sound of rain, and a cold, unnatural silence filled the room.